Hi, my name is Stacy Nurdin, and this is a summary presentation of my final project for Info 244. For my final project, I created a tutorial video on the advanced search features in Novelist Plus. Novelist Plus is a database of book recommendations that uses read-alike suggestions, reviews, and searchable categories like appeal terms, genre, theme, and more to help readers find their next favorite book. The target audience for my tutorial was patrons of the Fremont Public Library in Mundelein, Illinois. I'm a fan of the Wondershare suite of video creation and editing tools, so I used their program Demo Creator, along with Canva for some graphic elements to create this tutorial. I created this tutorial for patrons rather than library staff because the Fremont Library is currently in the second phase of a large renovation project, expected to be completed in October. While they are still open during construction, some patrons might be put off by the noise and mess and be less inclined to visit to search for books right now. Novelist Plus is available on the library's website and is a great way for the library to still serve these patrons in finding their next favorite book. I also discovered after doing an informal poll on Facebook that many of my friends and family who are regular library patrons have never even heard of Novelist Plus. So the purpose for the tutorial was ultimately twofold: make people aware of Novelist Plus in the first place, then teach them some ways to get the most out of using it. I began my tutorial by making sure patrons knew how to find Novelist Plus on the Fremont Library's website. And because I wanted to focus on advanced search features in the tutorial, I clarified my expectation that patrons be familiar with the basic search page first, and gave a quick refresher on what they would find there. Then I spent some time pointing out features of the advanced search page, like an expanded list of field codes, multiple search boxes, and Boolean operators. I followed this with a brief overview of the many options for expanding and limiting a search on the advanced page. Then I paused to show patrons the little question mark near the top of the page, which links to Novelist Plus's help documentation, and encouraged them to spend some time with the information there so they could learn more on their own. Finally, I gave a step-by-step example of how to find a book with the advanced search features in Novelist Plus. Now, I'm not an employee at Fremont Public Library, just a patron. I do, however, work at the circulation desk at a nearby library district, and for the tutorial, I imagined my role to be in Reader's Advisory. I imagine implementing this tutorial across the library's various social media channels, mentioning it in the monthly newsletter, and placing it prominently on the front page of the website. However, as I got feedback from family and friends on the tutorial, I quickly realized that the attention span of people watching videos on their personal time is very, very short. If I had created this tutorial and shared it with library staff, I'm guessing they might have been more invested. But as it was, my little focus group was reluctant to watch a 5-minute video. Those who did gave positive feedback, so at least I knew the tutorial was clear and helpful without being too full of professional library jargon. But based on a bit of upfront testing, for actual implementation of this tutorial, I would likely chop it down into bite-sized clips better suited for social media. Which leads me to my biggest takeaway in making this project: the importance of considering your audience. As an MLIS student, I get really excited talking about Reader's Advisory and databases and online searching, but that's definitely not true for many people. While I thought the topic of my video was fascinating, I was really surprised to encounter reluctance or even disinterest from the most frequent library users among my family and friends. As for some other takeaways, I found it very difficult to give an overview of the advanced search features in Novelist Plus in just 5 minutes. I didn't even get a chance to talk about appeal terms, which are an amazing tool in this particular database. But I decided to stick with what felt most accessible to a general patron audience and hopefully hit on some useful features. I also had a lot of fun creating this tutorial, which wasn't a surprise, but I definitely learned more about where my strengths and weaknesses are in compiling graphics, video, and audio. And in terms of future applicability of this project, I know for sure the tech skills needed for this tutorial will benefit me as a library professional, as well as the fact that I gained a lot more in-depth knowledge of Novelist Plus. I also know that being more conscious of my audience and the content that I create and share is a skill I'll need to continue to develop as I work with the general public. Overall, I believe I created something of value for library patrons in making this tutorial, and I'm excited to see if I can find a way in the future to give it life beyond Info 244.